Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Makakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. And this lesson is going to go by the way of this post I saw, going into 3 types of narcissists. All right, as you see, malignant, covert, and gaslighters. Okay, and this is Esau. It is Esau all the way. Okay, Esau Edom, the so-called white man known today, in the scriptures. And through the things that he's done back then, as scriptures say, he has the sins of his youth, we can clearly see who he is today. All right, so it says similar to psychopaths, willing to lie, cheat, and cause harm. Okay, also proven too, as I'm going to go into, that he goes back into Cain. Okay, he goes back into Cain. Covert narcissist. So you know what? Let's touch on that first part. All right. So Cain, which is Esau, which is a so-called white man. All right. So let's go to Genesis 4. And where would I start? Genesis 4 and 3. I shall start at the top. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from Yahweh. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yahweh. All right, and what's that process of time? Real quick, because as we read, you could read one story and get multiple lessons. We see that that process of time, meaning after a certain portion of the time, you're supposed to give a portion of your flock to the Most High. All right. This is Exodus 22 and 29. Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits, and of thy liquors, the firstborn of thy sons, thou shalt give unto the Lord. Likewise shalt thou do with thy oxen and with thy sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam, and on the 8th day thou shalt give it me. And also makes me think of how you have a male child. You're actually supposed to circumcise him on the 8th day. All right, which is a covenant between Abraham and his seed. Going to prove that even though the laws were oral back then, is what I'm trying to get at. And he shall be holy men unto me, neither shall he eat any flesh that is torn of beasts in the field. But that's pretty much the point, though. So now we go back to Genesis 4. All right, and the original point as far as Esau being what kind of narcissist? A malignant narcissist. Okay. And Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock and of the fat thereof. And Yahweh had respect unto Abel and unto his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. Okay. And the Lord said unto Cain, where's Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Okay. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Okay, so as we read in context, we see that Cain slew Abel, all right, ultimately because he didn't win, all right, he didn't win the exception of the Lord, Yahweh, okay, he didn't win the exception of the Lord, so he was willing to lie, cheat, and cause harm, all right, just to feel like you've won, or to basically just to feel like you won because you really didn't win, you know, but you had to lie, cheat, and steal to make it seem like you've won. All right, like a Karen, could be losing an argument, could put herself in a situation that she has nothing to do with. All right, and will call the cops and act as if, since she's losing an argument or not getting her way, or will act as if she's being harmed because she knows that in this society she's automatically in the right if someone puts their hands on her, especially if a so-called black or Hispanic or Native American puts their hand upon her. All right, i.e. being a malignant narcissist. So now we go into a covert narcissist. It says always the victim blames everyone else, doesn't take responsibility, subtle entitlement. Okay, so now let's go to, all right, brothers already know what I'm getting to. This is Genesis 27 and (24). And he said, Isaac said to Esau, right? That's the he. Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it unto me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. Slakia, I was actually supposed to start up. No, that was the right part. To get straight to the point. Okay? And it goes to show you that this whole thing was in the spirit. This whole thing was in the spirit because, let me just keep reading and I'll explain why I said that. Damn, where the hell I started again? Yeah, 24. 25, it says, and he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, come near now, and kiss me, my son. Which it wasn't no kiss on the cheek or anything. I believe it was like, no, it wasn't like a kiss on the lip. It might have been like a kiss on the cheek or on the neck. That was considered a holy kiss. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelt the smell of his raiment, because at this point in time, Rebecca and Jacob, Salakia, basically Rebecca had Jacob feign himself to be Esau. I believe he put on one of his coats or like his garments so that he could spell like as if he was of the field. You see? So to the carnal eye, you might think Jacob was a narcissist or he actually cheated. But we're going to keep reading to get the better understanding. So it says, therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven, the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. So here it is. The Lord is blessing Jacob through Isaac. All right, because he was, he brought him of the venison, in which again Isaac thought that Jacob was Esau, because his eyes wasn't well. I believe he was actually blind, and he was actually blind, so he couldn't really see. So he was just going off of his smell, his sense of feel. He had this. I believe he put some type of whatever it was to make it feel like he was Esau, because Esau was hairy, which he is today. So it says reading on, and it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. So this goes to show you, man, it was like in the spirit. It says he was yet scarce gone, man. He was like, he just left. He might have missed him by a minute or so. He also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me, and I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed. You see? And furthermore, I think of how the scriptures say the deceived and the deceiver are minds. At that point in time, the Most High put the spirit on Rebekah, all right, to make, tell Jacob to make haste and basically deceive his father Isaac, so he could receive that first blessing, that blessing. Okay. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yet and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing. So that's woof. You already know how that feel, man. You already feeling bad, and then Isaac just basically throwing salt in the wound, like, well, I don't know what you want me to do. You lost. And he said, It's not he rightly named Jacob, for he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he taken away my blessing. And that was a lie, because when we go back to Genesis, what was that, 25 and 29, and Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And that's another characteristic of Edom, because he likes his meat red. He likes his meat red, whereas Jake normally, for the most part, Jake likes it well done. Well, I'm gonna say Jake likes their meat well done. All right, but since being among Esau, they eat the shit medium rare or shit like that. But it says and Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore his name called Edom. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? So he understood very well what he was doing. Okay? He had to think about it, like, fuck it. What this birthright gonna do for me right now? Going to show you he lacked patience also. And he lacked faith. He didn't see it. And Jacob said, "Swear to me this day." And he's swearing to him, you know, and he's swearing to him. All right, going to show you consent. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. And he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. And Esau despised his birthright. Okay, so the scriptures make it abundantly clear that Esau himself made a conscious decision to give away his birthright. All right, but now he's telling Isaac, like, oh no, he stole it. That's not the case. Okay, so it says, for he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he taketh away my blessing. One and the same. Which, again, if you were to just read Genesis 27, it would seem as if, Jacob was wrong for doing that. But it was through the Spirit, all right, because he actually sold it to him. So it's through the Spirit that he sold it to him. So eventually, at one point in time, he was to get it. All right, it just seemed as if Jacob it just seemed in the flesh that it was a fucked up deal, but really it wasn't. The deal was already made from beforehand. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing, and this happened under the time of King David. We can go into what's that, second? Brothers could check that out. Yeah, 2 Kings 8:20, I believe. It says, when thou shalt have dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Esau would basically break free from under the bondage of Israel at that point in time. And Esau hated Jacob, and then also, he broke free again under, after during the time of the Renaissance. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. You see? So it says, blames everyone else, doesn't take responsibility, subtle entitlement. Okay? Always the victim. And then gaslight, gains power through manipulation and denying someone else's reality. Okay? Denying what happened to us during slavery. He's even saying nowadays, that we came over here on our own will. He's saying nowadays that we came over here on our own will. So this devil is all types of fucked up in a nutshell. Okay? Yeah, man. So with that, just I want to get into. With that, shalom to the elect.